Well, welcome, y'all, to our first panel. Today, small businesses are marketing in an era of incredible opportunities, but also some pretty significant challenges. While the digital world opens doors to businesses reaching new customers, it can feel kind of like an uphill battle, especially for smaller rural businesses that are deeply rooted in our communities. These businesses often serve as the backbone of our local areas, yet they face some unique hurdles, which include limited budgets, fewer resources, and sometimes a smaller customer base. Competing with larger brands in a crowded, fast-paced online landscape can be daunting. But with those challenges come some really neat, unique opportunities for authenticity, creativity, and some community-focused marketing. In this panel today, we're going to explore practical strategies and tools to help all small businesses succeed in today's ever-evolving marketing world. So I want to get started with let our panelists introduce themselves, tell them what you do, where you come from, how you got there, and we'll just start there. DJ, you want to start?
Sure, I'll go first.
You might have to pull your mics up a little bit closer to you.
I knew I didn't want to sit in the first seat, but she pushed me over here. My name is DJ Shirley. I own Speak Loud Group with my beautiful wife sitting here in the front. We're out of Wiley, Texas. We're a small business and medium-sized business digital marketing and advertising agency. We work with businesses of all shapes and sizes and all over the state of Texas and the entire United States and a couple worldwide, and happy to be here.
Yeah. Koti?
I am Koti Lindsey, and I am the second generation owner of Vickie's Gifts in Roscoe, Texas. So we've been in business for 26 years this year. So the definition of a small business, and I am married, and we have 5 children between us. So we stay very, very busy between businesses and children.
Grant?
First of all, thank you for having me. Grant Cherry is my name. I'm a co-owner of Family RV Center here in Sweetwater and also Abilene. We started, my father, brother, and I started in 2005 here in Sweetwater, and in 2022 opened another dealership in Abilene. Born and raised here, Sweetwater and this community has supported our business, strengthened our business, and we're certainly very glad to be a part of it. Thank you.
And something that I want to note too is that all 3 of these folks up here deal with, they realize that their business is local and it's rural in the areas that they are, but have leveraged marketing and many different things to be able to expand that. And so that's kind of what we want to get started with. So y'all, we're just going to start with a couple different questions, and whoever wants to take it, and we can kind of bounce off each other. And if you have comments or thoughts or whatever, just kind of step in, and we'll just treat this as one big happy conversation. So let's start with our first question. So what are some effective strategies that small businesses can use to increase their digital presence? Grant, do you want to start off with that one?
Sure. So first of all, I would just emphasize the basics. Having a good, simple, very focused website, having up-to-date information on Google My Business, make sure everything is correct, make sure that if consumers do find you, that the information is there and correct, and secondly, start focus on some basics, search engine optimization, make sure that whatever business you're in, if somebody searches for that, your business will be at least close to top of the page, if not top of the page. And especially here in a very small rural market, if somebody's shopping or looking for something in Sweetwater, you can pretty well nail that down if they're right in your local market, as long as you've got the right search words and things like that. Having a social media presence, obviously, very, very important. And we try to do more than just general advertising on digital. We try to do very content specific, very model specific for our business. People are searching for something very specific for us, and that's what we try to make sure that if they search for us, they find something very specific that they're looking for.
And I would say that's worked out pretty well. Customers from all 50 states, would you say, at this point?
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah. Including Hawaii?
Including Hawaii. It's a tough toe to Hawaii, but no, a smaller market like this doesn't have enough buyers to support an RV dealership, so we have to not only focus on our local market, but we have to advertise not only regional, but statewide.
Koti, DJ, y'all have any thoughts on that?
Well, I think that's something, he hit on something that's very key. You know, we are in a rural area. We are a smaller, you know, regionally. And so we can't rely on just the people in our area. And so that's something that has been, I would say personally, as we went through COVID, that was something positive that came out of that, was as we learned to do things and reach out more, it strengthened our business. So I think that it has brought everyone to the store next door. So you have access to everyone. It's just like you can sell an RV in Hawaii, and I can sell a blazer to New York or Canada. And that's huge. That's a game changer for every business. But you really do have to be consistent and focused and work on that, and it has to be a priority. And so things are changing so quickly in that space. So you do need to spend some time, whether it's with a business like this and somebody who that is their job, to keep you current and so that you know what keywords to use. And there's a lot of technical things behind it that are important that you make important.
Yeah, yeah. And I think with DJ too, one of the reasons we asked him to be on our panel for marketing was we were actually connected with him by the retail coach. For those of you that don't know, we are our office at Seed. We're in a partnership with the retail coach, and they're helping us reach out to those national brands. And one of the really interesting things that you know, going from a national brand situation, the retail coach is kind of also helping us with our smaller mom and pop shop type places. And so one of the things that I'm hoping you can talk about and kind of weave in here into some of these questions is, you know, a small business in a downtown area or whatever, increasing their digital presence. So.
Absolutely. I'll echo what both of them were saying. I mean, everything that was said was absolutely correct. When anyone calls us and said, I need more customers, I need more business, I want people to know that we exist, social media is free. To a certain degree. Obviously, there's a paid side to it, but social media is free. Recent statistics that came out, 65% of people reference social media before they make a buying decision, or have seen a business on social media before they make a decision to purchase with them. So for you to have content and relevant content, what we tell most of our clients or consulting clients is it's not always about selling your product. That's the number one mistake most small businesses make, is they say, look what I have available and you should buy it. But if you start being engaging and you start utilizing humor and emotion and things that you can put out, every platform right now is competing with the giant, which is TikTok. Whether you're a TikToker or not, Facebook and Instagram both are competing for some of that space. And from an algorithm standpoint, the real platform, which is video-based, how many of you are excited about shooting video? Not a lot of hands going up, I understand. But for you to be able to shoot what we call B-roll, meaning that you don't have to be on film, you don't have to talk, you don't have to do anything, but you film a video at your business and you show off what you're able to do, it goes beyond your followers. If you have 100 followers or 1,000 followers, you start posting reel-based content, it goes to thousands of people that are in your geographical area. So being able to utilize those things in conjunction with what they were saying absolutely can take your business to another level.
Yeah. Well, Koti brought it up, and I didn't prepare y'all for this question, and I didn't want to talk about it, but I was hoping somebody would bring it up. COVID. So as much as I hate blaming things on COVID and how, yes, it was an awful time, like you mentioned, there were some good things that actually came out of it, especially for small businesses. It kind of forced you to do some things differently. So what are y'all's thoughts on how COVID has, let's put aside the negative effects, but let's talk about positive effects from COVID and the things that y'all learned from that experience. Anybody can take that.
Well, I'll start because my industry in specific was very different than a lot. Obviously, when COVID started, it scared and startled everybody, especially business owners. I thought it was the end for my business, as many did. The sound of it certainly sounded like that. Then on the flip side, within just a matter of months, it became a boom in our industry. People didn't want to travel with groups of people, so they started buying their personal vacation homes that they could travel with. So it went from a very scary time to something we weren't expecting and weren't really even prepared for. And we started having to deal with inventory shortages, supply shortages. We had more customers than you could ever want, but we had less product than you could ever want. So we had to start fighting uphill battles as far as advertising to further states, different demographics. Everything changed, and we were not prepared for it at all. So.
Well, I just think it's
Hold the mic a little closer to you.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
You're good.
It's the necessary, it's what is it? Necessity is the, well, there's a saying, what is it about
Yeah.
the mother of invention? Did somebody say that? Yes. So I think you go through a situation like that and you just go, okay, well, I have two choices. I can lay down and give up, or I can fight. And when you have a small business, you fight a lot of battles, and that's what it's about. It's up to you, and you put the work in, and you figure it out, or you don't. And so I think it was one of those moments in time that forced us to figure it out, and that's what we did. We had a website before, but we didn't have a shoppable website. And within 2 days, I figured it out, and I was throwing things in the floor, snapping a picture of it and putting it online. I began to deliver, which I would have never done before. We were active on social media, doing live videos and things like that on Facebook, but it made me do more. And so it just forced me into a role of, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving this up. So.
And for Koti specifically, for Vickie's Gifts specifically, give everybody an idea, because you told me at one point, and I thought it was really interesting. Pre-COVID, what were your online sales versus your in-store sales, percentage-wise, versus after?
Yeah, for sure. So percentage-wise, it has been interesting. Obviously, in 2020, we were not online. We had a website, but it was a landing page. So immediately after COVID, it began to increase to 30% online, 70% in store. Currently, 4 years later, it is 50% in store, 50% online. Now, I will give you a great number for small business also, just to throw it out there, because I do feel like sometimes it's scary to think, oh, well, I have to be online. There is still an amazing business to be had in person. So while it is 50% of our sales, that 50% is an increase. So our in-store traffic has stayed flat percentage-wise. The online portion of our business has only increased our sales. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Did I say that correctly?
Yeah. DJ, thoughts?
We started our business right as COVID hit. I was in construction management for 15 years, and we made the decision after a vacation that it was time. And great time to start a business and to ask businesses to spend money. It was awesome. But it actually turned out to be one of our greatest moves, because the businesses that we were working with, most of our clients, especially early on, 90% of them were small mom and pop businesses. And they saw it as that entrepreneur spirit, as all of the big brands and big boxes were retracting and not spending as much money, paid ads and doing things on social. The local mom and pops could actually compete for that space. And so they came to us, and we were able to push that envelope and actually get their advertisements and get their promotions in front of the right people when there was less of a crowd in that space. And it wound up being a great opportunity for all of them. And several of them did exactly that. That entrepreneur spirit came out in them, and there were businesses that we saw locally that some of them pivoted, and some of them decided to figure out and bring the QR codes back, which if you have our little pamphlet, thanks QR codes, we all brought that back, thanks COVID. But they all pivoted and started doing online ordering, and they started being able to deliver, and they started doing these things, and we saw those businesses make it and thrive. And the ones that just sat and didn't know what to do, unfortunately, a lot of them didn't make it. But I think it bred some innovation that came out, and that's that kind of entrepreneur spirit that kind of takes over.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to another question. Anybody can take this one. How can local partnerships contribute to your small business's marketing plan?
Okay, so I'll go. From my business standpoint, and of course I am a retail business, so it is a little bit different maybe than some others. But when you can combine your audiences, when you can get together with your community and have a relationship with them that is more community driven instead of competition driven, I say this a lot, it's community over competition. It is not that, we are in competition with each other. We can band together and we can leverage your audience, my audience, his audience, and we can pull it together and it benefits everyone. And so when you have events or different things like that, it's very good to get everyone involved and just feed off of each other. It's There you go.
Yeah.
I'll add to that. In Wiley, we're very similar. We have, a great downtown area, but there are 3 of us on what we call our city or economic development team that works with the EDC, and it's actually 3 marketing people. And in the beginning, we could have all seen each other as competition, and maybe there was a little of that in the first meeting, but then once we felt each other out and saw it was all happy people and happy faces, and we all had the same goal, is that we did exactly that. It's like we kind of came together. We have a brand there called Discover Wiley, so it's kind of discover the downtown area, and we all work together. We shoot video, and then they post it, and then we schedule it, and then we all do things together, and we engage with the Chamber of Commerce. When the Chamber of Commerce is doing an event, everyone comes together, because at the end of the day, we're all on the same team. And so we all were able to come together. So I would encourage anyone to any local events that are going on, any semi-local events, regional events, or partner together and create your own. We've started sip-and shops downtown, all the different things where different boutiques and businesses can come together to spread the word about all of their businesses together and collectively. And then that stretch to promote it becomes a whole lot easier, because you have 8 or 10 or 5 or 6 different businesses that are all promoting it to their individual audiences. Yeah. Now it becomes a much larger event.
Yeah, and I also think that that's a perfect segue into the importance of the Chamber of Commerce. Specifically here in Sweetwater, as Karen said earlier, she's the cheerleader for our community. And that couldn't hit the nail on the head any better. Upstairs, we couldn't do what we do in economic development without the Chamber of Commerce and the way that they try to bring the community together. It's so frustrating to me when somebody comes in and says, well, what's the point of a Chamber of Commerce? You could sit there for 30 minutes and give them a clear-cut example of here is the clear-cut reason of why you need to be a part of the Chamber. And it's the partnerships. Just like he said, I like Cody's thought on that of how'd you say it, competition, what'd you say? Community over competition, exactly, and that's something that I hope everyone can take away from that question. Grant, you got any thoughts on that one?
Yeah, the first and foremost, I think as a small business owner, you have to realize very quickly that you are your business, and there's not any separation there really. It's like a new parent. Yep. You are no longer Grant Cherry, you're Gaines and Gates and Griggs' dad. As a business owner, a small business owner, especially in a small community, you are your business. So if you're out in community events, that alone is marketing. That alone is promoting your business.
Yeah.
So I think it's just very important to be involved. If you have employees, I think it's very important to get your employees involved so that your customers have
can build the relationship.
A face with the name, but more than that, a face with the person fixing their trailer or the salesperson that they need to see if they want to buy a trailer. Having employees involved, and then just get creative. There are so many different partnerships you can have. An RV business and a boutique somehow can probably team up and find some synergy to do something good. We team up with campgrounds and Facebook RV groups and things like that. Just get creative and try to get involved with as many community events as possible. Yeah. But you are your business, and there is no separation in that.
Cody?
I also wanted to say, too, something that small businesses do that a lot of big businesses do not do is that we do support our communities. to his point, we are there at the community events, and we have children in the schools, and we are donating to your school functions and helping, your school programs grow, and we're there, we're doing those things.
Yep.
Amazon is not. And so when you can give back to your community in those ways, I feel like you do create loyalty within that community as well.
Yep.
So when they have to come to your store or your business and they have to ask you for a donation and they've never set foot in your business before, it's going to make them think, oh, well, maybe I should support this business that I'm asking them to support me. And so that's what you're doing. To his point, you are out there, you are your business 100% of the time. If you're at the, trunk or treat, event, or you're in your store, and that creates loyalty as you serve your community as well.
Yeah. DJ, any thoughts?
I can't echo that enough. I mean, Wiley's the exact same way. I mean, we're always looking for opportunities, but it's the same story. It's like when people walk in, and today I'm wearing a sport coat. If you see me on a normal day, you can look at that card that's sitting in front of you. I'm typically completely covered in neon green. From my shoes to my shirts, my Tahoe outside is wrapped in green. I cannot be avoided. I do the speed limit everywhere because I don't need that Google review popping up. But everyone recognizes us. We go around town and we shoot with the city. We do work with the ISD. And so when those things happen, that we've had examples of them coming to us and go, I know we've never really met, but we need money. But we'd like to use you on some projects. And I'm like, I'm sure you would. But then we work those things out. But everyone starts, so you see the same people at the same events that are pouring into, whether it be at the Chamber of Commerce events, it be at an EDC function, it be at an ISD function. You start to build that community if you're not involved. I think a lot of people join chambers initially and are like, this is an ROI thing for me. And they go, if I don't see an immediate ROI, or I'm going to give it 3 months or 6 months or 1 year, and they're going to put that dues in, and then they're going to turn back and go, I don't see the money from the chamber. And we hear it in Wiley. You may hear it here. You don't have to admit it, but it's okay.
I'll speak for Karen. We do.
Yeah, absolutely. Like it's just ongoing. It's redundant everywhere. But the reality is, it's relationships. Is for me to be able to pull out my phone and go, I need an RV guy. I need a boutique. I need someone to help me with this. We're putting together a program. I need a repair man for my appliances. All of those relationships, my CPA, everyone that I work with to this day, I met through the Chamber of Commerce. And it's all because of relationship is why I work with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, again, I can't say enough about the good things that our chamber does, but specifically the event that pops out to me is a chamber coffee. For a lot of people, it's, man, I don't really want to go to that. I've got too many things to do. But to your point, the conversations that are had, they may not even be anything related to what you do, what your job is, or what you've got going on through the day, but just the relationships and the connections that you can make are huge. And I'll speak from an EDC point as well. One of the things that, to echo what y'all have all said, is you are much more likely to get something positive that you're looking for if you have done something positive for someone else. It sounds so simple, but just like you said, if someone has come into your store asking for money, you're gonna probably remember, oh yeah, they've come in or they haven't come in, and it just makes you more willing to see that, I'll help you, you help me kind of thing. And it's just we're all in this together, even though we're, selling two different things, RVs and clothes, or a business service. We're all in this together, and it takes all of us together to do it. So let's talk a little bit about social media for a minute. What role do y'all think social media and online reviews play in shaping consumer trust for small businesses? So social media and online reviews.
100%. No, it's huge.
All right, next question.
Everything.
What do y'all
If you
think?
have a business and you do not have social media, that's the one thing, that's your homework. Go get it. Go do it.
And I'll say the same thing about Google. I mean, I could talk all day on social media, so I'll avoid it. I'll let you take care of it.
Yeah, add Google too.
You got it. But Google, it's just one of those things if I go, I haven't been to Sweetwater. I'm here yesterday, and we're looking for somewhere to eat. My wife always wants to go check out downtown areas, and she wants to go grab some shopping things. And so if I go and I start to look, and I can't tell if you're open, if I don't know what your hours are, if I can't, coming into a new town, I'm very careful with reviews because you never know how those are. There's some jackwagons out there that like to leave crazy reviews, but I'll still go check it out. I'm one of those, but a lot of people don't. If they go and they look you up on Google or they look you up on social media and they can't find your page, they can't get directions, the hours are wrong, or they show up and you're closed when you're supposed to be open, all of those things matter immensely. It's just the world that we live in. If they can't find you, they're not going to find you. So for you to have every listing that you can possibly have out there, specifically social media and Google, and be asking for and soliciting for those reviews, it's very easy. There's so many platforms out there that you can use now to make it a little more automated to send a text message or things, but as simple as putting a QR code or a little sign right there at the checkout and then getting your employees to ask, hey, would you mind leaving us a Google? I like incentivizing it, but that's your own choice. We'll give you 10% off today if you'll leave us a Google review. I'm perfectly fine with that, and if it gets me 50 or 100 reviews where I'm appearing higher at the top of the search engines when they're looking for me, I'll do that all day. I'll exchange a Starbucks coffee for a review. That has no problem with me. But it will boost your presence, and it will boost presence of people that are coming into town for special events and things like that. They're going to be able to find you more.
Yeah. Two of your homework lessons today are, number one, if you don't have social media, get it. And number two, check your Google My Business. It's really simple to set up, and just Google how to set up my Google business, and you can get going on it. So,
Well, I
Koti?
will say also, our businesses, our small businesses differ. So I do have a product-based business, and I will say that I actually have that number as well, but 50% of our online sales are, digital marketing sales. 50% of them are Google, and 50% of them come from social media. It is a split down the middle. And I am the same as Grant. I do Google ads. I do have a company that works with me, and I am on the phone. If you'll come in the shop, there are many times when I'm on a FaceTime with them because we work on that all the time. And there is so much out there that to learn, and I just know that I wear all the hats. So, the bathroom might need to get cleaned, so I'm doing that, and they're doing my SEO. I just learned last year what that even meant. And so it's important to recognize your strengths. I'm a creative soul. I want to be out there creating the displays. That's what I want to do. I want to shop. I want to find things. That's my strength. My strength is not understanding technology like his may be, so I'm going to let him do it and do it for me. And so go ahead and don't be afraid to spend money on those things, because it is frightening, and you do want that ROI. You want that guarantee. You want to be like, okay, you're asking me to spend $1,000 a month with you. What am I going to get back? Because I don't have it to throw away. But if you would go ahead and take that step and give that over to somebody who knows what they're doing, then they are able to get that for you. And that is something, if you look at it like, would you pay an employee that much money? Would you hire an employee and pay them $15, $20, whatever dollars an hour, and have them come in and work for you, and add that up in your head of how much money that would be a month, and it's probably less expensive. And you have to look at it like that, like you're hiring an employee to do something for you. And also, you cannot get too caught up in ROI and the actual number, because there's so much of that that you cannot quantify. You don't know that Deidre is wearing something from my store, and Karen saw her and said, oh my gosh, I love that red jacket. Where did you get it? I got it at Vickie's Gifts. So, I don't know that. She might tell me when she comes in that happened, but there's a lot of that goes on. Or, hey, I saw on Facebook the other day that Koti has these new shoes, or whatever it is. So you can't get so caught up in the numbers that you actually inhibit yourself from doing something that is a good step for your business.
Do you want to follow me around from now on? That was great. We'll work something out. No, but that was a great, and I won't make this about promotion in general, but just what they said is I'll echo this, and there's just any client that we ever talk to, and I don't care if you ever call me or if you find someone local or you find out who they're using because it's working for them. But the two things that agencies do that like us is they do one of two things. We help businesses, number one, early on, we help them buy back time. Is that they are busy in the trenches, they need to be working on continuing to grow the business, not posting on social media or running paid ads, and probably just wasting money overall. Number two is as a business grows, is we help them leverage a cost-effective solution. So instead of them exactly what you said, we have numerous corporations that had 3, 4, 6, 8 member marketing teams that the leader of that was, they were paid 6 figures. The people underneath them were paid $50,000, $60,000 a piece. They were literally just burning money and not getting the results they wanted. And they're able to go into an agency like us and be able to spend a whole lot less to get those things done for them, a fraction of the cost of what they were spending on hard staff. So I don't care if it's us, I don't care if it's someone else, but when you get to that point, find someone that knows what they're doing, have great conversations with them, look at their reviews, or come ask these guys who they're using.
Yeah. So that kind of leads us into the next question, and I feel like we all kind of know how y'all are going to answer this, but how can you leverage data analytics to refine your marketing efforts? Or do you really even pay much attention to analytics? Just anybody take that.
Well, I pay a lot of attention to analytics. It's something I look at every single day. And I think when you have a website, along with Google, comes a back end where you can look at those analytics. You have to. I mean, don't neglect that at all. Now, I certainly do leave it to the professionals, but you've got to pay attention to that, and it's there, and it is so easy. It's just at your fingertips, so you for sure have to look at those.
Yeah.
But certainly, digital advertising and marketing is not a set it and forget it kind of advertising. I mean, it's a constant, it's almost like Google is trying to trick you in a sense that you have to visit it and you have to look at those analytics. And most importantly for me, I have to have somebody like DJ that can explain those analytics. If you've ever seen one of those Google Analytics page, it can get very complicated, and there's really big numbers that may not mean a thing and really small numbers that mean everything. So you need to have somebody explain that. And then, secondly, on the business side of things, I think one of the most important things is to have, whatever business you're in, is to have a good CRM program so that you can manage and document once you do have a customer, where you got that customer. Was it a website? Was it Google? Was it Facebook? And then, especially in our business, it's such a long research phase, a long buying phase. We need to know where they started, where they went next, how many times they visited our website, how many times they came back, did retargeting get them back? So we have to look at a lot of analytics to see what they're doing in that buying phase. So having a good CRM is very important, and I think just about every industry has a very industry-specific CRM, but even if it's just Salesforce or Monday.com or something like that, it's very important.
I'll add something to that is beyond what they were saying. Everything, yes, absolutely. I'm also a big fan of ensuring that you're building out, number one, an email list. Is like social media can go away tomorrow. We've seen what may or may not happen with TikTok if you follow the news at all. It may go away. Facebook could shut down. It could get sold off and disappear. So for you to have an email list that you own, you can use social media to build that. You can do it in person. You can do contests. You can do all types of things to start gathering email addresses. Number two, I would say leverage these guys. The EDC, their partnership with Retail Coach, there is all types of information and data that is out there about your retail trade area, about what age your customers are, about what demographic they are, about what their interests are, where do they shop, where do they come from, for you to be able to have all that info. And a lot of that information is inside of some of these social media platforms as well, but you want to know what is working and what is not. Is your audience, do they like video? Do they like graphics? Do they like long video, short video? Those platforms will tell you all of those things. That way you can make an educated decision on what am I going to put my attention and focus on, and what am I wasting time on, so that way I can be more effective.
Diversification, I think, is what y'all are all touting here. Diversification is huge. Our relationship with the Retail Coach has been instrumental to the way that we recruit retail, national brand and smaller brands. To his point, it has kind of opened our eyes to using data analytics and using those different things for just what Misha and I do. I'll just give you a quick example. Prior to the retail coach, when we wanted someone to come into our community and bring some large national brand, we would say, we're a town of almost 11,000 people, and blah, 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 blah. And since the retail coach came along, we've been able to hardcore identify that the customers that come into our community, that eat at our restaurants, shop at our stores, is upwards of 50,000 people. So instead of being able to say we're a town of 11,000, that doesn't sound super exciting to these large national brands, we're able to market ourselves as a community of 50,000 people, 10 times or 5 times our size. And so data analytics are huge. And whether you like it or not, this may strike a chord with someone. If you have your cell phone on you at any point in time, no matter what you've set up, someone knows where you are. And they're able to track where you've come from, where you're going. And yeah, as scary as that sounds, it helps. It helps our small businesses to be able to target better. And honestly, if you look at it from a perspective of not being a super scary thing, it learns you, and it makes your shopping experience easier. So it's definitely something for small businesses to look into. So let's talk a little bit about storytelling. I know that can be different for every business and every one of y'all up here, but how can small businesses use storytelling to differentiate your brand around a crowded market, whether that be digitally or in-house? Any thoughts?
Go ahead.
No, go ahead, DJ.
Sure. I'll give a good example. I mean, it's just part of what we do. A lot of our clients, I'll give you a good example, just happened, a pest control company. Naturally, they would get online on social media, anywhere else they were, and they would go, hey, we're a pest control company. If you've got pests, we'll take care of them. That's great, but that's what every pest control company ever in the history of mankind is saying, and they all say that they are the best. But what in reality could we do to be creative and to get in front of their audience, maybe make someone laugh or want to engage with it, and then at the end of the day, remember them? Just recently, we had an event called Boo on Ballard, which is downtown. It's our kind of Halloween event. Just thousands and thousands, wall-to-wall people. It's great. But before that, we shot a video. I had ordered 4 or 5 different life-size human pest costumes. And I got my daughter and some of her high school friends. They were a little hesitant, but then they found out money was involved, and so they were willing to do it. Dressed them up in a rat costume, a spider costume, a fly costume, and a roach costume. The roach was not very happy, but she did it. And I had them dancing around in the background while the owner of the company said, everything is bigger in Texas, including the pest. And if you need our help, we're happy to help you. And that was the entire, it's 15 seconds long. These are the types of things that I would encourage you to do. And that's what I was alluding to earlier. It goes beyond what you do.
Yeah.
Even though he was advertising his business the entire time, and there's other examples I can give you that are more heartfelt and maybe not as funny, but people engage with those things and they think they're funny. I mean, you've probably seen a ton of the car dealership things that are out there. If they start to get humorous, they start to get engaging, where it's less about come buy my vehicle, buy my pest control. It's more about engaging them and giving them stuff. Social media is entertainment at the end of the day.
Yeah. Joey, where are you at? Did you hear that? We have a pest control guy. There's an idea. Any other thoughts?
My first thought is that as far as storytelling, is being a small business is a strength.
Yeah.
And it is a positive. So you can tell that story. As far as digital advertising, if a consumer sees 4 people and your products are as good, your prices are as good, but you can convey that you're a small business, you're a family-owned business. I mean, I think most consumers would prefer to shop with a small business as long as their products and services and prices are as good. They want to shop with small businesses, so it's a strength. So that's a story we have to tell.
Yep.
And if you can get that across, it's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Well, that's what you use social media for. That's the point of social media, is to get that story across, because really, like he said, it is a strength. Our storytelling is the one thing that we have that is an advantage over big box retail or big business. It's almost the only thing that we have that is an advantage. And I do think that there has been a shift in our country across the board in industry of people wanting to do that, to give back or to support small business. And so I think you use social media to tell those stories and to invoke that emotion. And I think that you do have to make yourself different. And even if that's just being different than the big box stores, we know our customers' names. We see them when they come in the door. Same thing here. All of us do. Amazon does not know your name. They don't. And so and I'm kind of picking on Amazon today, and I don't mean to, but, that's your storytelling, that's your strength, so you better use it in whichever way you can figure out how to do it.
I would say also, just quickly, is what you said earlier about community involvement. Don't be afraid. We've had people that we've consulted with that are afraid to talk about their community involvement from a sense of the community's going to think I'm asking for a pat on the back. If I donated to the ISD or I donated to a nonprofit, I encourage my clients, they don't have to share the dollar amount, but for them to talk about their community involvement, not only are you spotlighting that nonprofit or that ISD or that need that's out there, you're also telling your story. Like you said, no one else is doing this. There's not a big box that's coming in here and just handing over the money to be able to support our ISD or to support our local nonprofits. It's our local businesses that are doing it. So don't be afraid to talk about it. If anything, you're shining a spotlight on them. If there are naysayers, let them be naysayers, because they're going to do it whether you post or not.
Mm-hmm. We call those cave people in the economic development world, citizens against virtually everything. Yeah. So, yep. Go ahead, Grant.
Just, if you don't feel like you're a storyteller, I'm not. That would be hard for me, but I promise you, your happy customers are. If they bought a service or a product from you, and they're happy with it and it solved their problem, they will be fantastic storytellers. All you have to do is ask, and that is hard to do. It's like you're asking for a favor, but they want to tell how well your product or service fixed their problem, and that can be a very powerful story.
Well, we've got about 10 minutes left in this session, so we want to open up the floor to some questions. Brian will be walking around with the microphone, and we'll try to answer as many questions as we can in the next 10 minutes.
Thank you. My name is Jeff Howard, and we own Hydrostat. We feel like we have a very robust website and social media presence, but can you talk more about Google My Business? Does it work in conjunction with the existing, or does it drive it to that, or tell us more about that?
I'll take that one. Like I said before, with our Google, it is 50% of our online sales. So it is hugely important. But I think that you do, I call it, I don't know if this is right or not, you can correct me if I'm wrong, DJ, but I call it 360-degree marketing. So you use everything for everything. So you use your social media to promote your website, you use your website to promote your social media, you use your website to gain email addresses, you use your social media too, you put Instagram to Facebook and Facebook to TikTok, and you make everybody come to the same place. And you have to use it all. But Google it's fantastic. I mean, if you forced me to choose between social media and Google, might shock some people, but I would choose Google. I mean, to his point, to DJ's point earlier as well, Facebook is not yours. You don't own that. And so you can have a great social media presence and you can say the wrong thing and you can get put in what we call Facebook jail. It's a real place. I've been in it. It's not fun. And so, but Google, it does not do that. And you own the information that you gather. So, I mean, if you don't understand it, there's somebody that does. It's worth it, every penny.
Yeah. Any other answers to that question, or we want to move on?
DJ, you might correct me on this, but it seems like Google is kind of a gatekeeper that they want you to play their game, and if, as far as Google My Business, if you don't fill out everything they want, they will punish you in a sense by not allowing you to be first on the page. So just go there, fill out what they ask, your opening times, what days you're closed. They're going to send you emails, whether you're going to be closed on Thanksgiving, this, that, and the other. Always participate. Tell them everything that they want to know. And they look at you as a strong listing, I guess, is why they do that.
Like a point system.
It is, yeah. If you do everything that Google asks, just on the free side, not on the paid ads, but on the free side, they reward you with a little bit better listing. And if somebody searches for your business in this area and somebody has not participated in their Google My Business Game, you will win, and you'll be top of the page.
Yep.
Agreed. No, all that is absolutely correct, and there is an unspoken reward system on Google, on all social media platforms, that there's things you do and things you don't do, but having your Google absolutely 100% should be there, should be set up, and at the end of the day, your rankings, people finding you online in any of those places, it's all cohesive. It all works together. They're looking at where you're listed, how many places are you listed, Facebook, Instagram, Yelp, different places that you can be found, directories, things like that. And as many of those that you can be found in, the better your odds are of being found on any of them.
Yep. Any other questions? Oh, come on, somebody's got something. Of course you can.
Am I on? Okay. So we haven't talked about AI,
Yeah.
and we were going to. So
Yeah, we ran out of time for a lot of our questions.
I know. So I will ask that question to you. I mean, we do use it. I don't know how everybody is feeling about that at the moment, but maybe you could talk about that.
I'm a fan of AI, as most, I think, tech people will be, but I approach it with skepticism and apprehension. So AI in its current form, it's not coming for anyone's job today, but what it can be is someone that does know AI could be coming for someone's job.
Yep.
So understanding it and spending some time with it to understand it is probably in your best interest. And when we talk about AI, it's evolving kind of every day. In the beginning, when we all said AI, we were just talking about, say, ChatGPT. Now AI is becoming so much more. There is video AI creation, there are photo AI creation, and then it goes a million miles beyond that. But in my best interest, and this is what I tell any client that asks, is that you should be spending time with ChatGPT.
Yes.
From helping you proofread and rewrite emails to helping you proofread and perfect copy that you're going to be posting on social media. I'm not a fan of copy and paste from ChatGPT. I'm a fan of the word I like to use is ideation.
It
will
breaks the
help you-
writer's block.
Absolutely. It can help you
Yeah.
get started. It absolutely is a great spot for someone to go, this is what my business is. It's all about context.
Yes.
If you can give ChatGPT enough context and let it really learn what you do and your brand and your kind of emotion behind your brand, it can help you develop video ideas. It can help you develop social media planners. It can do all of those things. So I am a fan, but also it needs a human element. And I
Yes.
think always will. It's not going to replace me, which is great. But it's definitely a great starting point to get past that writer's block.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah, and I'll say that too to ChatGPT, do it.
Yeah.
You will not regret it. Yeah, and it is something that I use every day almost. It
It's
makes
like-
your job easier. It gives you places to start off from. And I completely agree. It takes some humanization, I guess you could say is the word. But it is extremely beneficial for everyone to use. Koti, what were your thoughts?
Well, one thing that you can do with AI that is very interesting, and he's brought up ChatGPT. So the one thing that you should do with it is you almost treat it like it needs to learn you.
Yep, exactly.
So you want to say to it, like you want to tell it to ask you questions about your business so that then you can tell it in your own words what your business is like, and then it will begin to tailor responses in your voice. So, and it gives it that little bit more of a personal element.
For example, just to give you a quick, easy example of that, using that exactly, I was looking for something to write a success story on our website, and I wanted it to use the tone that and the words that we use in economic development. So I said, I want you to write XYZ using the data from my website. Told it what my website was, and boom, it typed it out for me. And with a little bit of editing and putting it into my words and making it humanized, there it was. So super easy on that. Yeah.
You have to be careful also, though, with, like he said, you don't necessarily want to copy and paste it.
Do not copy and paste.
Google also knows that. I don't know how they know that, but they do know that, and the point system will work against you if you do that.
Yep.
So, I mean, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're absolutely correct. Yeah, do not copy and paste. Yeah, no, don't copy and paste. If any of you have already played with it, you notice it likes to put like random emojis and things like that in it. While those may be good for social media and certain elements, like we typically always take it and kind of rewrite it ourselves. Again, it's ideation, kind of gets the brain moving and rolling to get that base idea going, and then we're going to go back in and kind of rewrite that because there are built into all of the platforms already are, just like the schools are using AI detection because these kids were like, what? It'll write my entire paper. I see you guys back there smiling, but it would, ChatGPT. They're like, no, don't give our secrets away. But it's helpful. But all that AI detection is already in all of these platforms. Talking about Facebook, that's a multi-billion-dollar platform. If they have the technology, they probably developed the technology. It's there and it can detect it, and it will ding you or give you a negative remark if you're copying and pasting ChatGPT.
It's all
Yeah,
about that.
most definitely.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think if you're not looking into AI capabilities as a small business, you need to. You'll get left behind. We're using conversational AI through text messaging. Really, for a lot of our kind of top of funnel leads, like Facebook leads, we talked about free Facebook. You can do as many ads on Facebook as you want for free, but then the paid ads are very beneficial and very inexpensive, but also very top of funnel leads. They're not ready to buy right now, so we're using AI to have conversations with people, and it is insanely real. And just, if you can imagine, every single piece of data on my website and on my CRM, dealer management system, that AI salesperson knows.
Yeah.
It knows every weight, it knows every length, it knows every arrangement, it knows every single piece of data about every single trailer I have, and it can talk to clients about it. And when that client gets a little bit closer to the buying process, we can jump in, but it's insanely, it is there.
Yeah. Well, I think that might be all the time that we've got for this panel. Sorry we couldn't get to more questions, but lots of good conversation. Thank y'all again for using your expertise and spending the time with us today. I think we're going to go into a short networking break, and then we'll move into our next session. So thank y'all for listening.